Hey guys, welcome back. Now here in this session, still we are in basic setting itself, so we'll continue the next topic. And the next topic will be till document type I've already explained posting period, fiscal year variant, field status variant. So these all things are already explained, and document type also I have explained. It is pretty simple, guys. It determines the types of transactions, whether it is invoice, credit memo, or payment, and it controls the number ranges. Behind every configuration, certain control is there, guys, that we need to know. So it controls the number ranges and certain fields as well. Those are like header, document header text, and reference field. Okay, and if I talk about remaining fields, where is the control for remaining fields? So we are having field status variant. Inside of field status variant, we are having multiple field status group. So generally those field status group or so-called variant, both are same, right? So that is going to control the remaining fields. In the sense of line item level, whatever the fields are appearing, that is going to be controlled by field status variant. I'll show you practically also, guys, don't worry and don't be confused. Now we are having here tolerance group. Okay, tolerance group. What is the use of tolerance group, guys? Look at here. If you have a look here on the definitions, tolerance group or so-called tolerance limit, because here certain limits are going to be specified. So tolerance group refers to a way to make sure that employee do not exceed their limit in terms of amount and discount in the financial transaction. Now it means if we talk about this definition, it is talking about what? It is talking about certain limitations or certain restrictions in terms of amount and discount. I'll tell you guys now. So let's suppose there is I'll quote a pretty simple example here. Okay, in previous session I said there were three people, A, B, and C, right, during posting period variant. Now what will happen, guys? Let's suppose again these three friends are there. They are the part of account payable team, right? And let's suppose, so this A is the part of vendor master team, B is the part of invoice processing team, and C is the part of payment processing team. Okay, now here what happened, guys? So they're having a plan. This A is having a plan. A is the very clever fellow. He is having a plan. A said that I'll just do one thing. I will set up a dummy vendor. I will set up a dummy vendor. Okay. So in dummy vendor means a vendor master is going to be created, guys. Now again, about this one, like vendor master, how it is going to be created. So in details, I'll explain once I start a topic called account payable. Okay. So now what he said, that I'll set up a dummy vendor and B is going to post a dummy invoice. And against this dummy invoice, C is going to release the payment. C is going to release the payment. Payment posting. C is going to post the payment. So once the payment got posted into SAP, guys, then what will happen? Then the next step is either the check is going to be released or online transfer is going to happen. So finally, the amount is going to be transferred in the bank account which is specified in the vendor master. Right? Let's suppose if it is online transfer is there, the amount is going to be transferred to the bank account. Now, generally, I'll tell you guys, such kind of fraud is impossible almost, because lots of checks are there into SAP. But still, just assume if this is the case, then what will happen? So here, generally, What is happening, guys? So A has set up a dummy vendor. Okay, even setting up a dummy vendor is also not required, not possible, guys, because at this level itself we are having certain control. But those control will be discussed later in upcoming session. As I said, like still we are in beginning phase itself, right? We have done nothing, only enterprise structure and basic setting is still going on. So like later multiple topics are there that will come, like in account receivable. I'll uh, no, once I finish the account receivable, then certain topics are there I'll explain those controls. Okay, even okay, so now let's suppose this A is going to set up the dummy vendor. So that is done. Dummy vendor creation is done. But when the B is going to post the invoices, then what is happening, guys? System is going to throw error. B is trying to post the invoices worth of, let's suppose, 1 CR. It means 1 crore, 2 crores, $1 million, $2 million, whatever it is. So system is throwing error saying that you are not authorized for to post a transaction worth of this much. Okay, so if invoice itself is not posted, then what about the payment? This is also not happening. So what is happening, guys? Here at amount level we are having option actually in this way. Generally, if any restriction is not there, then what will happen, guys? B is going to post the invoice and C is going to release the payment. But this is not possible. Because the moment these people, B is going to post the invoice, immediately error will appear that you are not authorized to post a transaction worth of so and so. So this is called, it means like authorizations related control, we can say. Tolerance is nothing but it's a kind of restrictions. So with the help of tolerance group, with the help of tolerance group, what is happening, guys? We can apply a kind of restriction on the users. Who are the user, guys? Of course, the employee of Tata Motor. This A, B, C, they are called user. What about you people? You are consultant, right? So all the Tata Motor employees are user, and whichever company is doing implementation, say for example IBM is doing this implementation, so IBM consultants, in the sense IBM employees are consultant. Now here, so because of tolerance group, this B is not allowed to post the invoice. Okay, I'll tell you what is happening in tolerance group. Even if you talk about tolerance group, guys, we can have multiple tolerance group. Let's suppose here generally what happens. So in tolerance group, we are having, like, let's suppose, okay, you create TZ01, okay, and here TZ02. That code I am giving here just for the sake of example, TZ03. Okay, now we'll change the code, guys, later once I once we go for configurations. We'll keep TM00 itself. That's better. Now, so we'll do one thing, guys. Generally, whenever, so now this is a tolerance group, this is a tolerance group, this is a tolerance group. So here tolerance group means, guys, it's a kind of control related to amount. So in tolerance group 1, we have given like this much amount. Okay, here we have given, so look at here, guys. In tolerance group, we have given a restriction for 1 lakh. In tolerance group 2, we have given a restriction for 50 lakh. And tolerance group 3, we have given a restriction of, there is no restriction, unlimited amount we have given, right? So I'll tell you, guys, generally what happened, whoever the users are there, ground level people, their user IDs are going to be assigned here. in this tolerance group. So B and C, their user ID is also assigned against this tolerance group, right? And this tolerance group, for this tolerance group, we have given a limit that for this tolerance, our transaction worth of 1 lakh is only going to be accepted. If any transaction which is going to exceed 1 lakh rupees or whatever currency is there, whatever your company code is company code currency is there. So if any transaction going to increase worth of 1 lakh will not be accepted by system. So that kind of control is there, guys, in tolerance group. Okay, generally, so we have created 3 tolerance group here. 3 tolerance group we have created, right? And certain restrictions we have given. So these user ID I have assigned against tolerance group TZ01. So this is how user, once you post a transaction, then system is going to check in background that, okay, which tolerance group has been created for this company code. System found that there are total 3 tolerance group is created for this company code. In every tolerance group, what is happening, guys? Different limit is there. Then system will check by which user ID this transaction is getting posted. In background itself, system will find that, okay, user ID belongs to Mr. A or B or C, whatever. So now system will check this user ID is assigned against which tolerance group. System found TZ01. And what is the restriction for TZ01, guys? It is 1 lakh. So if the user is trying to post any transaction which is more than 1 lakh, system will throw error that you are not authorized to post a transaction which is exceeding 1 lakh, right? Likewise here, so the ground level staffs are going to be assigned here, and let's suppose so team leads are going to be assigned here, managers are going to be assigned here. Okay, there might be a question that what will happen if manager itself is going to make such kind of fraud then, right? And it happens, guys, if the management or entire people itself, like top level people, if they want, of course anything is possible, right? But the top level people, they will not play game like this. Here they are not going to do anything, guys. Of course, like these people are playing different transferring like fund at the name of some fake organizations and all. Those things are happening everywhere, right? Now that is a different thing. Anyway, we'll come back on SAP. So here we are having this tolerance group. So tolerance group means these people, since this in this tolerance group we have given this condition, 1 lakh per second, 50 lakh, and third unlimited. So it means it's a kind of condition we have given. Whichever user ID is assigned against this tolerance group, so whatever condition we have given in this tolerance group, guys, those conditions are applicable to these user ID. In tolerance group 2, whatever conditions are there, that is applicable to these 2 user ID, right? So look at here, in terms of amount, a restriction is applied. Not only in terms of amount, guys, even in terms of discount also. Say for example, we have given 2% discount for these people, 5% for this people, and 20% discount will be offered by managers and all. Okay, so what is happening, guys? There might be a fraud in terms of discount also. Let's suppose we are having a customer. Now we are having a customer. So customer means something we have sold to the customer. Now if the customer is going to make payment, right? And let's suppose somebody like from sales department, right? If somebody already negotiated with the customer that you just do one thing, you pay half of the amount only, right? Half of the amount only, and I'm going to settle down your payment, provided whatever remaining amount is there, in that half of the amount you have to pay me, right? So once then what will happen, guys? Once the customer is going to send the amount, like if overall, like let's suppose 10K is the receivable from customer. But because of like any of the particular user, let's suppose there is some, like somebody has said like you just pay half of the amount only and I'm going to settle down the payment. So in that case, what is happening, guys? Whoever the person is there, let's suppose this C is there, okay, saying that you pay half of the amount only. Now, let's suppose C is the part of account receivable team, guys. So half means 50% discount. This is going to be posted with the help of 50% discount, in the sense like we have to give 50% discount, then only it is possible, right? So 50% discount, the moment C is going to grant 50% discount, immediately system will throw error that you are not allowed to post 50% or 60% discount or 40% discount. So even what is happening, guys, in tolerance group, even we can apply a restriction in terms of discount also. Now, so the question is, how many tolerance group can be defined for a particular company code, right? So here it says like unlimited. Lots of tolerance group can be defined, but generally what will happen, guys, 2, 3, 4, that will be recommended by client. That's it, not more. Or initially, generally, like let's suppose what happened, say for example, we have to do implementation, and the time restriction is imposed by client that you must have to complete entire implementations in a very limited time span. Might be in 6 months itself you have to deliver this configured SAP, in the sense like you have to complete the configurations. In that case, we generally do not discuss these things to the client. Okay, this tolerance group or tolerance limit we are not going to discuss with the client. First of all, we create a blank tolerance group, right? Complete the entire implementations. We let it be like once the go live is done, then after in support, might be it can be initiated by consultant, or is later like client itself will come back that okay, we should have such kind of restrictions and all. Then in support team, people will do the configurations. So now here generally there is one more thing, guys. There is one more question. One user ID, I'll tell you guys, one user ID can be assigned against only one tolerance group. One user ID is going to be assigned against what? One user ID is going to be assigned against only one tolerance group. Okay, so that is the generally what happened. For practice, I'll tell you guys, right? For practice, what you have to do, you can create the tolerance group, right? You can assign your tolerance group, assign your user ID against the tolerance group, right? You can check the transaction posting and all, and later on you have to delete this tolerance group and create a blank tolerance group. What is the logic? That I'll tell you. First of all, let me set up the tolerance group. Let me log in first. So two things are there. Go to OBA4 and click on new entry. So here we are going to create a group. Okay, group means let's suppose TG01 I have given here. So TG01 itself I'm going to give. And here what is company code, guys? TM00. So I'll create TG00 here. Okay. Like this. And here, so look at here, guys, if you talk about the limits, okay, so here we are going to specify the limits. Now I'll specify, like I'll give a maximum number here. Okay, maximum number means what, guys? unlimited. Okay, we'll do one thing later guys, we can perform testing also. Like once we post the transaction, I'll show you how it is going to. And here in terms of discount, I am going to give restriction. Okay, I'm going to give restriction in terms of discount also. And then in terms of what guys, like look at here, revenue I'll give 10, and here what is the logic, that also I'll tell you. Okay, now two things are there guys here. Let's suppose okay, here permitted payment differences. I said permitted payment differences means what happened. Let's suppose once we in account payable, what is happening guys, in account payable we are having, like we have posted an invoice. Okay, we have posted an invoice, or is like, let's suppose in account receivable, right, we have sold a goods worth of this much, right, and we have received a payment in round figure from customer. So look at here guys, now once you post the payment, then what is happening, there is a difference. This is a debit item, right, and let's suppose the customer is going to be debited initially with this amount. Once we receive the payment, then the same customer is going to be credited with this amount. So look at here, there is a difference between debit and credit, right? So that is what we have specified here. If any such kind of differences are there, then till 10, 20, 100, whatever it is, can be specified, right? So it can be acceptable. If the difference is beyond that amount, then it is not acceptable, right? It can be specified in terms of percentage also, or this amount also. Now here there is one more thing. First of all, let me save it here. So now look at here guys, I have specified amount per document and amount per open item, right, account items. So what is the difference guys? Can anybody explain here? Like what is the difference? Here I have specified same amount, here also I have specified same amount. So is there any differences here? I say
There is a line item. Top one is the document for limit amount.
no, what is the difference between these two? Like I said, wait. My question is, I said like we have given a tolerance group, let's suppose I have defined. In that I'm giving a limit for 1 lakh, right? Now here, so one amount I said, but here if I have to give a limit of 1 lakh, right? So this 1 lakh I'm going to give here also, and then this 1 lakh I'm going to give here also. Then what will happen guys? Why I am giving
Maximum amount is 1 lakh, sir, for line item document.
Okay. Anything else? Any other logic will be given by anybody?
Amount per document represents only one document, but amount per open item, account item is represent group of documents. I think so.
No. This is what we have to understand, guys, right? Defining tolerance group is a matter of second only. So I'll tell you now. Let's suppose if there is a transaction, here. Say for example, okay, I'll put a pretty simple transaction. Rent account, debit, worth of a particular amount. Let's suppose any amount, and then your bank account is going to be credited, worth of same amount, right? Now look at here guys, so this is called JV, journal voucher. Okay, the payment is already made, this rent related payment is already made. Let's suppose a local individual is there, right? Local individual is there, and Tata Motor is paying certain rent amount amount about anything, right? Now, so these people are receiving the amount in cash. Okay, I'll quote a very simple scenario later once I cover a cash, related transactions and all. So now here, what is happening, guys? This people are going to that person is receiving payment in cash itself. So simply, what is happening, guys? Bank account is going to be credited. Your rent account is going to be debited. Okay, so this is called journal voucher. So in this case, what is happening, guys? In this case, there is no chances of fraud. Why? Because we are posting a transaction here, right? We are posting a transaction. The actual payment is already made in terms of cash, right? So in that case, there is no question of fraud. Where is the question? Where is the chances of fraud, guys? The chances of fraud is there when the vendor comes into picture. Vendor comes into picture, then what will happen, guys? Let's suppose, so your vendor account is going to be credited. Let's suppose whatever goods we have received from vendor, that is on credit itself, vendor is going to be credited worth of a particular amount. Let's suppose 1 CR. And then what is happening, guys? Raw material is going to be debited. Same amount. Okay. So in this case, there is a chances of fraud. Why? Because later on we have to make payment. We have to make payment to the vendor. So if dummy invoices we have posted, we have created a dummy vendor. Let's suppose these people have created a dummy vendor, right? And simply the dummy invoice got posted. We have not received any goods and all. Okay. So in that case, what is happening? Chances of fraud is there. But this is vendor related transactions. This is not the JV, right? And in account payable, once I start account payable, guys, in account payable, what is happening? Whatever the vendor related invoices are going to be posted, these all invoices, if you see the report, then the report will be like, these all invoices will be called open invoice. Open invoice. What is this open invoice, guys? Open invoice is nothing but unpaid invoice. Okay, we have posted an invoice right now, but the payment is going to be made after 30 days or 45 days or 60 days. This kind of negotiations will be there between the purchase department of Tata Motor and with the vendor, right? So paying, like, let's suppose today we have received the goods or raw material, and payment is going to be made after 1 month or 2 months, right? This is called terms of payment. Even terms of payment is also a topic is there, guys, in SAP that I'll cover here. Very unique explanations will be there in that also. Don't worry. Okay, lots of things are there to explore, even though it's a very small topic which can be covered in 10 minutes or 15 minutes itself, right? If you watch the YouTube videos, everywhere in 10 minutes, 15 minutes, terms of payment finished, right? But there were multiple questions recently asked by interviewer, and the candidates were unable to understand the question itself, right? Such kind of question was there. Now, anyway, so we are talking about, so here this is called JV that I have already explained. So, and here there is a vendor into picture. So vendor means we have procured the goods on credit and the payment is going to be made after 30 days. So where the payment is going to be made, guys, the payment is going to be made to the bank account of the vendor. So let's suppose if dummy vendor got created, in that case, in that vendor, these people have kept their own bank account, right? So there might be a chances of, like, a dummy invoice got posted. If the payment is going to be transferred, then automatically system is going to pick the, or is like manually itself, if it is going to be transferred, then whatever the bank detail is specified in the master data, the payment is going to be made to that bank account. Generally, it is not possible, but just assume that if it is. So here in this case, only the chances of fraud is there in case of vendor, right? In case of vendor, or else in case of customer also, like let's suppose if we are going to make any refund and all to the customer, right? So in case of vendor and customer, so whenever the vendor and customer invoices are going to be posted into SAP, guys, So this invoice is going to be treated as a open item invoice, in the sense open invoices. 1 crore worth of invoice we have posted. It means the goods worth of 1 crore we have bought from vendor, right? And that is our liability. If at that point of time, if the financial statement is going to be generated, guys, then of course this amount is supposed to be part of liability, because we have purchased the goods but the payment is not made yet. So we are liable to pay to the vendor in coming future, right? So anyway, in account payable, I'll explain the things in details. So here, this is called, all the vendor invoices will be treated as an open invoice. All the customer invoices are also going to be treated as an open invoice. So where is the danger, guys? We don't have any danger in terms of JV. We have danger in terms of open invoices only, because those invoices are going to be paid, in the sense those, and that payment is going to be sent to the vendor, right? So in that case, we are having a risk. So here what is happening, guys? Here we are having option. Look at here, amount per document. Here I'll specify maximum amount per document. Means whenever you post a JV, right? Whenever you post a JV, no need to be worried about, because that is just a transaction which has already taken place, right? So for JV, we are going to give this limit. An amount per open item, it means this is related to the customer and vendor, guide. So here there is a chances of fraud. So here we are going to apply the restriction that till 1 lakh rupees only can be, 1 lakh rupees or dollar worth of transaction can be posted by using this tolerance group. Okay, just save it. So look at here, the control again we have segregated, in the sense in tolerance group the control got segregated at 2 levels. For JV, a different one, right? And for this open items, in the sense customer vendor, we are having a different one, right? If the open item of the vendor, there is a question from Dinesh, if the open item of vendor cross the tolerance group amount, what will happen? We can check it practically, guys. What will happen, right? If the open item is going to, if like whatever limit we have specified, right? See, I'll tell you, whatever limit we have specified. So if it is going to cross, system will throw error. You have a limit, you have a restrictions, like let's suppose your user ID is assigned against this tolerance group. Then what will happen? Of course, like if you're going to post the transaction, system will not allow you to post the transaction. System will say that no, it is not possible. Why? Because SAP will check this. The tolerance group is, and that to for open item. Now, if you post a JV in the sense GL to GL transaction. Later I'll show you guys all these things, don't worry. So if you post a JV GL to GL transaction, then what will happen, guys? System is going to accept, because here we have given unlimited amount. But if you are going to post a vendor invoice or customer invoice, and if the amount exceed 1 lakh, then you will be getting error that no, it is not possible. System will not allow you to proceed further. This is what the difference is. Okay, so we have defined a tolerance group, guys. Now how SAP will come to know that, like, so again I said like how this tolerance group we have defined for which users, right? So open one more screen. Open one more screen here and go to OB57, and here you need to click on new entry and TZ00, and you can give your user ID. Sorry, I have, like, here I'm going to give the user ID, and here tolerance group. Tolerance group is TZ00. This is what the tolerance group I have defined. Save it. So now what happened, guys? Now here, while posting the transaction, whenever we post the transaction, then what will happen, guys? System is going to check by which user this transaction is going to be posted. Of course, the user is K Kumar01. Now system will check that against Kumar01, which tolerance group code is entered. It is TZ00. Then system will check what configurations we have given in TZ00, right? So if with this user ID and for this company code, if I post a vendor invoice worth of, which is more than 1 lakh worth of vendor invoice I'm talking about, system will not allow me to proceed further unless I reduce the amount, right? There might be a question in your mind, guys, that I said like tolerance group is going to restrict the fraudulence and all, in the sense like frauds and all, right? So we have restricted the users transaction posting and all till 1 lakh only. So 1 lakh worth of 100 invoices they are going to post, then what will happen? Or 50 invoices they are going to post, then what will happen, right? So as I said, like it is not possible because multiple other controls are also there. Guys. So it is impossible to make a fraud. Okay, so other controls will be discussed in the upcoming sessions one by one, guys. Right now we are in tolerance group. Okay, so here I will not suggest you people to create a group here, and then better to keep this group filled blank only. Why? Because if you don't keep this group filled blank, then there will be a problem. There will be a problem in the sense like here we have created a tolerance group and I have assigned my user ID against that particular tolerance group. In the same server, if I am going to log in, right? In the same server, if I am going to log in and once again, like let's suppose I have created a different company code. You have created a different company code. For that company code also, you have to define tolerance group, guys. So if you define and if you assign your user ID, system will throw error, right? And even at the time of transaction posting also, because I know you people will set up multiple company code, at least 2 or 3 everybody will be having. So generally what happened, once I go for transaction posting after all this basic settings and basic GL setting, then you guys are going to face the issue because your user ID is already logged in one particular tolerance group, and if you're trying to post a transaction for a different company code, in that case what is happening, guys? In that case system is unable to find out the correct tolerance group because your user ID is using a different tolerance group and we are posting a transaction for a different company code. So what is the solution, guys? You just delete this one and create, let me save it, a blank tolerance group. So here I'll do one, no, wait. Okay, just save it. So what is the benefit of this blank tolerance group, guys? Blank tolerance group means what? This is applicable for every user. This blank tolerance group is applicable to every user and no need to assign your user ID here. Okay. Here I have assigned against this tolerance group. Now, no need to assign. Simply remove. So blank tolerance group is for everybody. So here what happened, if you create a blank tolerance group, in that case, user ID assignment is not required. User ID assignment is not required. So better to create a blank tolerance group itself and you can proceed further. Why? Because as I said, most of you are going to create multiple company code, and in case of multiple company code, better to create this blank tolerance group itself so that you guys will not be, because if you are going to create a tolerance group against your company code, then you must have to assign your user ID. So your user ID is already stuck for a particular company code. What about the other company codes? There you will be having again challenges, right? And there is a question from Swapnil, can we create dummy user ID? So I'll tell you guys, you can't create dummy user ID neither in real time nor in this server also. Here also the server owner has restricted this. Okay, creation of dummy user ID is already restricted by server owner, and even in real time also, because creation of user ID is not our part, so you won't be having authorization to create. Now say again, remove the assignment here and come back here. So what I said, create a blank tolerance group, right? So blank tolerance group means what, guys? If you're going to set up blank tolerance group, then this is not required to be assigned anywhere, right? And whichever users are there in Tata Motor, by default, these all users, these all users become the part of blank tolerance group itself. This tolerance group, okay. Now, what about the assignment, guys? Assignment is required or not? No, it is not required. Why? Because look at here, the tolerance group is getting created against the company code itself, right? So this is a company code specific setting. Now I'll come back on the PPT and we'll see. So look at here, tolerance group refers to a way to make sure that employee do not exceed their limit in terms of amount and discount, right? Whoever the employees are there, or what do you say, Tata Motor users are there, right? So if tolerance limit we have already defined here into SAP, then what will happen, guys? Those users will be having certain restrictions. It means with the help of tolerance group, we are applying certain restrictions in terms of amount and discount on the users, right? So this is what the use of tolerance group, guys. And one more thing. So no need to go for any assignment because it is getting created directly against company code itself. There is one more thing. This is the tolerance group for what, guys? This is the tolerance group for users, right? Even tolerance group can be created for GL also. OBA4, and here also blank itself. OBA0, guys, not OBA4. OBA4 we have done just now. So here also give your company code, keep the tolerance group this one blank only, and give an amount here and just save it. So this is the tolerance group for GL. Okay, now what is the use of this tolerance group for GL, guys? So right now it is not possible to explain. There will be a topic called MM integrations. So there I'll explain, because I'll be having certain example to quote. Right now I don't have any example to quote. So if I'm going to explain that one, you guys will be confused. Okay, so this is what the use of tolerance group, or called tolerance limit. Okay, with the help of tolerance limit or tolerance group, we are going to apply certain restrictions or limit, right, in terms of overall amount and discount. That's all in this session, guys.